Look, yeah, I'm with my baby mama.
He's lying.
Yeah, I just wait till tonight. Tonight. My mama, young boy, mama ain't got no ass. I'm talking about no ass. I'm talking about none. I ain't got on a cockroach jacket. I ain't got no.
Memphis PR comedian Grove Hero is now caught up in a situation that's got the entire hip-hop world on edge, and his life might literally be at risk. Behind the disabled comedian persona and his usual habit of trolling random people for laughs, Grove Hero crossed a line so crazy it could cost him everything, and I mean everything. The truth behind what he did to NBA YoungBoy. His mother is way more disrespectful and way more dangerous than most people realize, and we're about to break it all down. Yo, what's good, fam? And yeah, even YB reacted to the disrespect, and from the looks of it, things are about to get real ugly. Trust me, this one hits different, because when you start playing with NBA YoungBoy's family, you're not joking anymore, you're playing with your life. Now before we dive headfirst into this wild situation, let me keep it 100 with y'all. Social media has been on fire over this Grove Hero mess, and folks are split. Some saying, it's just comedy. Others saying, this man just wrote his own ending. But we about to separate facts from fiction, real from fake, because this ain't your typical celebrity drama. This is about respect, boundaries, and knowing exactly who you're dealing with. Now peep this. This Memphis comedian who was previously affiliated with Young Dolph's PR label was invited as a guest on NBA YoungBoy's mother's new cooking show. Miss Shandanda, YB's mom, was simply trying to get her bag, build her brand, and do something positive. She had no clue she was about to get disrespected on camera by someone she likely believed was there to support her and the show. Now hold up before y'all start thinking this was just some harmless joke or playful banter. Let's be clear. This man literally filmed YB's mother from behind, aimed the camera at her backside, and said on video, "Look, yeah, I'm with my baby mama. YB mom don't got no ass. I'm talking about none." That's some straight up foul, disrespectful type underscore. But here's where it really goes left. This wasn't just one reckless comment. Grove Hero kept pushing it, and I mean pushing it. He didn't say one thing and move on, nah. He was on a full-on mission to violate. He continued trolling, saying stuff like, "I'm gonna sleep with her tonight," clowning how she was dressed, even claiming she didn't have on panties, and calling her outfit a cockroach jacket. Fam, pause right there, and let that sink in. This is somebody's mother. Not just anybody's mother, NBA YoungBoy's mother. A grown woman, probably in her 40s or 50s, just trying to launch a cooking show and do something productive, and this disabled comedian really thought it was cool to sexually harass her on camera for Instagram laughs. Now in the streets, there are lines everybody knows you don't cross. You don't play with a man's mother. You don't disrespect women, especially older women who deserve respect. And you don't hop on somebody's platform just to violate them for clout. But the Grove Hero situation is different, because he's been getting away with this behavior for years. He's known for running up on random people, recording them, saying wild stuff, and tossing it on his Instagram story. Folks laugh because it's unexpected. It's shocking, and most people don't even know how to react in the moment. But this time, he picked the wrong one. And for anyone who only knows NBA YoungBoy through music, let me explain real quick. This is not a rapper you casually play with. This is not someone whose family you disrespect and expect it to slide. NBA YoungBoy, born Kentrell Gowden, has a reputation in the streets for being someone who allegedly put in real work. He's even claimed to have 19 bodies. 19. That's not a flex, that's a warning. He's known for crashing out over disrespect, especially when it involves his people. This is the same man who's been tied to multiple violent situations, arrested several times on weapons charges, and has made it crystal clear through music and real life that he doesn't play about family. But here's where the story gets even deeper. If you really watch the videos, you can see Miss Scher's reaction. She tried to laugh it off, tried to keep it light, but you could tell she was uncomfortable, completely weirded out. Her body language told the whole story. She didn't know how to respond to being violated on her own show. She probably didn't want to cause a scene, didn't want to mess up the taping, and was trying to stay professional. But just because she played it cool doesn't mean it was okay. That doesn't mean she wasn't embarrassed, hurt, or disrespected. And the real kicker? Grove Hero clearly thought his disability would shield him. Real talk, he's been using it as protection for years. He says wild stuff, people get upset, and he flips it into it's just jokes. But there's a clear difference between comedy and disrespect. There's a clear difference between making people laugh and making people uncomfortable. And there's an even bigger difference between trolling random folks on the street and disrespecting the mother of one of the most feared figures in hip-hop. Let's be real, this isn't just about Grove Hero saying something slick. This is about understanding the culture, understanding consequences, and realizing that some people don't care about your disability, your comedy brand, or your excuses once certain lines get crossed. So let's break down why this situation is as serious as it gets. First off, NBA YoungBoy has a well-documented history when it comes to protecting his name and his family. We're talking about a man who's been involved in shootouts, who's been accused of ordering retaliation, and who's made it clear time and time again that disrespect comes with consequences. When Frito Bang dissed him, things escalated. When other rappers tried him, people got hurt. To YB, this isn't entertainment, this is real life. This is his reputation, his code, and above all, his mother. Second, the reaction has been explosive. The hip-hop community and YB's fanbase are furious. Social media went nuclear the moment those clips surfaced. Folks calling Grove Hero everything from reckless to foul to flat-out stupid. Some fans saying he just signed his own death sentence. Others openly saying they hope YB handles it because the disrespect was that extreme. The street's been talking and the verdict is unanimous. Grove Hero crossed the line. Third, and this part matters, the age factor. Miss Shandanda is not a young woman. She's a mother, possibly a grandmother, and she deserves respect off-rip. In black culture, street culture, any culture with values, you don't play with older women like that. You don't sexualize them. You don't clown them. And you damn sure don't record it and blast it online for laughs. Grove Hero didn't just disrespect YB's mom, he violated the basic principles that hold communities together. For anyone who doesn't understand street dynamics, let me spell it out. When somebody disrespects your mother in the hood, you've got two options: handle it or be labeled weak. There's no in-between. If YB lets this slide, people start questioning everything: his image, his credibility, whether he really lives, what he raps. But if he responds, and history says he usually does, then Grove Hero could be in serious danger. Now let's look at this from Grove Hero's side for a second, because it explains how someone could move this reckless. He's a comedian. His entire brand runs on shock value and pushing boundaries. He's built an audience by making people uncomfortable. And most of the time, he doesn't face real consequences. Either people laugh it off, or they don't want to be seen as going hard on a disabled man. But this situation is different. This isn't some random dude at a gas station. This is NBA YoungBoy's mother. And YB doesn't care about optics, PR spin, or how it looks online. He cares about respect and protecting his family. So the real question becomes, did Grove Hero know exactly who he was dealing with? Some people say he had to know. He's from Memphis. He's connected to the industry. He was affiliated with Young Dolph's camp. There's no way he didn't understand that NBA YoungBoy is not somebody you joke with like that. Others think he just got too comfortable. Maybe thought being on a cooking show meant it was all love. Maybe he didn't think YB would even see it or care. Either way, ignorance isn't going to save him. Now let me break down what could realistically happen next. Best case scenario, YB sees the clips, gets heated, maybe drops a post online, and chooses to let it go so he can stay focused on music and his kids. But let's be honest, that's a long shot. YoungBoy has never been known for letting disrespect slide, especially when it comes to his mother. Worst case scenario, YB decides to take it all the way there, and Grove Hero ends up seriously hurt or worse. We've seen this movie before in hip-hop. We've seen how fast things spiral when the wrong person feels disrespected. Situations escalate quick, and once that line is crossed, there's no rewind button. Now there's also the legal side to think about. YB is already under the microscope, in and out of court, dealing with restrictions, constantly watched by law enforcement. If anything happens to Grove Hero, best believe YB is the first name they're circling. So even if he wants to address this, he has to move carefully. But let's be real, when emotions are high and your mother has been violated, logic doesn't always win. That's why the hip-hop world is watching this so closely. This situation is bigger than one comedian. It's about boundaries, respect, and consequences. In an era where clout is currency and people will do anything for views, Grove Hero's situation is a reminder that some things are still off. You can't disrespect people and then hide behind "it's just a joke" or "I'm a comedian." Actions come with consequences, and in the streets, those consequences can be deadly. At the end of the day, this isn't just about a bad joke. This is about knowing where the line is. NBA YoungBoy has built his entire image on being someone who doesn't play about family. He's shown it through his music, his behavior, and his lifestyle. Disrespect equals consequences. Grove Hero either didn't know that, didn't care, or thought he was exempt from the rules. And now he's in a situation where his life could genuinely be at risk. Miss Shandanda deserves an apology at the very least. She deserves respect. She was trying to do something positive, build her own lane, and instead got violated on camera by someone who was supposed to be a guest. The fact that she tried to keep it professional says a lot about her character, but it also highlights how often women, especially older black women, are expected to tolerate disrespect just to keep the peace. As for Grove Hero, the road ahead is unclear. He could issue a public apology, try to make things right, and hope YB shows restraint. But apologies don't always undo public humiliation. He could try to disappear, leave Memphis, and lay low, but in the social media era, there's really nowhere to hide. He could reach out through mutual connections and try to squash it behind the scenes, but that only works if the other side is willing to listen. And history says that's not guaranteed. So the real question is, what happens next? Does NBA YoungBoy respond publicly, or does he handle it quietly? Does Grove Hero face real consequences for his actions? Or does this turn into another cautionary tale about disrespecting the wrong person for clout? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, the hip-hop community is watching, the streets are talking, and Grove Hero's life will never be the same. That situation also opens up a bigger conversation about comedy and boundaries. Where does funny stop and disrespect begin? When does shock value turn into harassment? And how do we hold entertainers accountable without killing creativity? These are conversations we have to keep having, because this keeps happening. People push limits for laughs, then act surprised when consequences show up. For NBA YoungBoy, this is a test of reputation and principle. Letting it slide raises questions. Responding aggressively risks everything he's built. It's a no-win position created by someone else's recklessness, and that's the frustrating part. His mother was just trying to do her thing, and now he's forced into a situation where protecting her honor also means protecting his image. The lesson here is simple. Know who you're dealing with. Understand that not everybody plays by the same rules. Recognize that some reputations are built on action, not talk. And above all, respect people's mothers. It's basic decency, but in a world obsessed with going viral, where shock value gets rewarded, those basics get forgotten. Grove Hero forgotten now? He's facing consequences that could change everything. What do you think? Was this comedy taken too far, or straight up disrespect that deserves consequences? Should YB let it slide, or handle it? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tap one of the videos on screen for more hip-hop drama and street news, and stay safe out there, fam. Remember, not everybody is safe to play with. Some people are really about that life. Peace.